Hi, I will be discussing STEM education and how to implement it into your classroom. STEM education is an educational approach which educates students in specific disciplines of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. STEM education is a more blended approach. It engages and exposes students to hands-on or real-world situations through our classrooms. So I'll go over a little bit of history of STEM or STEAM. The acronym STEM was developed in 2001, but the actual idea and development dates back to the development of NASA in 1958 under President Eisenhower. President Eisenhower and then President Kennedy became leaders and pushed for more innovation in the areas of education. Through the 70s and 80s, the education system developing into the STEM did continue through those years. But it wasn't until the 1990s when the National Science Foundation developed SMET, which later changed to STEM in 2001. Shortly after, the president of Rhode Island School of Design took lead in a movement which incorporated the arts, so then it became STEAM. Some teachers call it STEM, some teachers call it STEAM. So why is it important? It is important because most of the learning is project-based. It exposes students to physically experience real-life situations, and it helps them develop a passion in specific areas. Students, even in preschool and kindergarten, there's lots of STEM activities going on. They can use their creativity, imagination. They develop more in writing. It helps them be creative in multimedia and art. It engages hands-on using real materials. Produces critical thinking and a higher order of thinking. The use of material can help them with adaptability. Students can investigate and find solutions to different problems through experiments. Gathering information and providing evidence prepares students for what people do in our community. A lot of students go to school and they don't realize some of the jobs that are out there, some of the things that people do in the community, such as working on vehicles, electronics, recycling in the earth, dentists, engineers, art. And it's important for all of us in our future for a growing economy and society as a whole. Ways that you can implement STEM and STEAM into your classroom. So there's different ways that you can go about it. Currently I work in a kindergarten classroom and we have STEM bins and we have different areas of the classroom that's designed to have them experience those different areas. You can have an art center, you can have papers and scissors and all different things. Sometimes we put out tape and staplers and they just go to town making lots of different creative things for us. We have sensory bins. You can do sensory bins just for them to get to feel and come up with some ideas. Informational books, so in your book area you can have some information. You can have shelves that have the STEM and STEAM bins. We have a bunch of little bins that have all different creative little materials in each side of one. Sometimes we have paper cups and they can build and make pyramids, or you can have popsicle sticks or toothpicks with Play-Doh, numbers and letters and pom-poms and all different kinds of materials, so it's really fun. You can have a building center with Legos and blocks. Math centers with games, manipulatives, blocks. They can do adding, but then physically pick up the manipulatives to help them. You can take nature walks, cooking activities, rice or water tables for measuring and pouring and just feeling for sensory. iPad center, even as young as preschool, there's preschool coding, there's games and math, building, all sorts of things that you can do on the iPad. So when can you use the experiments for STEM or even STEM bins? You can use them such as for your early finishers from work. If they finish early and you want to give them something else to do, they absolutely love doing different activities. You can do them in your centers. You can do it for morning work, behavioral incentives, which I know I've done in our classroom, and also fine motor practice. So these are the different ways. Of course, you can find lots of ideas online, Googling, STEAM activities or ways that you can, come up with some project-based activities. Definitely Pinterest, that's another one. I get a lot of ideas from there. But yes, these are ways that you can incorporate into your classroom. Thank you.